right, hockey fans, here we go. Game 2. Boston and Toronto. Come on, Toronto. I mean, come on. We all want a good series, right? Well, most people would want a good series. I guess there's some people that would enjoy seeing Toronto just go down in flames. I'm not one of them. I want to see a 6 or a 7 game series, and we're not going to get it unless Toronto picks it up. Now, if you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Trying to get to 8,000 subscribers at the end of what is now our 8th season. Now, in order for Toronto to win this game, now they are going to have to go through Linus Ullmark. The Bruins just pop it out there. They just want to start everybody right off the bat, everybody knowing we're a tandem. We got 2 of them around here, okay? And I wouldn't even, if the Panthers end up playing the Bruins, we have no favorite. We have no preference over Swayman or Ullmark. So that is what it is. Now, in terms of Toronto, looks like Nylander did not come out for warm-ups, so there's that. Now, I haven't seen any Leaf fans blaming Nylander's absence for the performance that they had the other night, so that's good. On the flip side of that, Boston, we know the story, right? They lose Bergeron, Krejci, and they didn't miss a beat, and they look just fine out there. Mix of youth and experience, and it's working. They know how to beat Toronto. That's the other part to this. They did very, very well against them during the regular season. It's the same thing we saw on the ice in Game 1. Toronto, brother, or in the immortal words of Darryl Hall, baby please, Toronto. What's it going to take for y'all to learn? Are you capable? Is it possible? Now, I used to stand running this same law back in 16, 17, those days, back when the Panthers were doing the whole losing to the Islanders when Trocheck was tripped, and losing to the Islanders in the play-ins, and then losing to Tampa. We've had some playoff complaints around here. And the one thing that I would consistently say was 2 things. Number 1, I felt Barkov needed to play better. I felt like he was too weak on the puck. Tavares would completely knock him off the puck, etc. And so that was my one gripe. And as things went on, I realized and spoke about many times that I don't think Barkov and Huberdeau, I don't think these are the 2 guys. Something's got to change. Well, Toronto went with Matthews and Nylander. Those are the guys. So at some point, y'all need to kind of figure out. I'm upset for Leaf fans, and I'm a Panther fan, and that's how bad the performance was the other night. In the sense that what I wanted to see as a hockey fan is, okay, last year Toronto finally won a series. Panthers did what they did. Now I want to see what Toronto has learned, and so far what they've learned is nothing. It's the exact same type of performance. So it's tonight or never, Toronto. Okay, if you can get it together tonight, get one in Boston, you've got a series. If not, it's likely to be just the same almost repeat of what Florida did to you. So if anybody on that roster is ever going to figure it out, there need to be some signs tonight. Other than that, Boston's just going to keep doing what they do. They're just a machine. They just go out there, they play, and they win until they get to the playoffs against the Panthers, I guess. I don't know. So, give me a good game. No overtimes so far. There have not been any overtime playoff games so far. Wouldn't mind seeing that. Overtime in the playoffs, that's about as good as it gets. All right, let's move on. If you're new here again, I do commentary after the first, second period, then the post game. So the next time you see me will not be post game, it'll be after the first. All right, so it's 2-1 Boston after 1. Toronto, I'm rooting for Boston, but I'm rooting for a good series. You're breaking my heart. Toronto came out, looked better, not spectacular, not fantastic, but better. And they had the game tied through the whole ending of the period, and then 7.8 seconds left. There was an incident where Samsonov takes the puck off of his mask. Mask breaks. They had to go fix the mask. face-offs in zone, and they win it. And Boston, how can I put this? Toronto's defense is not good. Like puck watching, and even if the shot had not gone 5-0 on Samsonov, Tavares had let was it Coyle? I think Coyle was in front. Tavares had let Coyle get in right in front of Omar. He would have been right there, or Samsonov. He would have been right there for a rebound. And it's not the first time tonight. The Toronto defense is just not. I'm sorry. After watching my Panthers play defense, maybe that's what it is. I'm spoiled. But it's 2-1 Boston. And Toronto probably, one of their guys was like breaking his stick across the boards as they're going into the locker room because they're pissed. That was a good road period, all right? They kind of should have gotten out of that period tied, and now they're down 2-1. But maybe, of course, you guys already know the answer to this, but maybe this will light a fire under their ass and they'll come out burning mad in the second period. Come on, Toronto, show some life. You're showing life. Get a lead. How about a lead? Wouldn't that be something? All right, so there you go, Toronto. It's 2-2 after 2. That period of play looked like it was going to go scoreless, and then Toronto gets a power play. They end up with a goal that was kind of a clear high stick from the beginning that gets called back. But then John Tavares, was it still during the power play? No, I think the power play had expired. Tavares finds a loose puck. Boom. Short side pass. Omar, who has made some ridiculous saves in this period, by the way. He's definitely made a couple. There was another one that got reviewed where Omar gloved it, and it kind of looked like his glove, when he caught it, it kind of went back, but there was no conclusive evidence. You couldn't tell. You couldn't see anything. I'm sure the puck was at least on the line. I don't think it went over. But, so, there was a lot of almosts in that period. Toronto played they played a really good second period. They won the period. But now it's 2-2. And now it's this crunch time. The difference between going back home, down 2 versus tied, cannot be understated. In terms of Boston, they're just so consistent. They don't make mistakes. They got the goaltending, and they're hitting. Everybody's hitting. All right, I normally say let's go on to the third period and see how this plays out, but I have a feeling we're going to be going to overtime. Well, when you look at that, the Toronto Maple Leafs win the game 3-2. Did not see that coming. It was 2-1 Boston, and Boston kind of attempted to do what the Panthers do, which is sit on a 2-1 lead, and Toronto started playing better and better and better, and by, a quarter of the way through the third period, Toronto was beating Boston to every puck. It wasn't about being physical. They were finally getting smart. Although Bertuzzi took another really, really stupid penalty. But you got to give this one to Samsonov. He played better than Olmark, really. Olmark was tested and made some great saves. But Samsonov, he made some ridiculous saves. He was hung out to dry a couple of times. And got a series. This is good. This is good stuff. We got a series, right? Nobody wants to see it be over in 4 or 5. Now it's likely to be 6. Now, in the last recap and a little bit here today, I talked about how it didn't look like Toronto had learned anything from last season. Well, tonight it doesn't look like Boston learned anything from last season because they beat the Panthers in Game 1 at home, and then they let the Panthers come in there and look pretty good in Game 2 and beat them. And they did the same thing here with Toronto. So it's very interesting how that's all playing out. Now, Olmark played a good game. Not really his fault. It just kind of seemed like at some point, I don't know if it was both or if it was just Toronto, but as Toronto started playing better and more assertive, aggressive, Boston didn't match them. They just kind of backed up a little bit and backed off. And Toronto took it to them. They got the 2 goals. They get the win. And we got a good series. And that's good. That's good. I really kind of thought this was going to get to overtime. I thought Boston was going to get that tied up. Then we were going to go to overtime. But Samsonov made a couple of really good saves in the last few minutes. And Boston kind of waited a little bit long to pull Ullmark. They weren't able to get him off to like a minute and a half left. That's a little bit much. Even for me, I'm not a fan of pulling a goalie, not in the regular season. But in the playoffs, you might need to do it. But they also had a power play, and they didn't get anything done, too, on that power play in the third period. So you got to hand it to Toronto. I'm somewhat impressed. And it was Matthews, right? Matthews gets a breakaway. He gets the game-winning goal. And he also saved a goal. There was a sequence of events where Samsonov made the save. The puck was just kind of like right there by the corner. And Matthews kind of came in behind Samsonov and helped clear the puck away, get it out of danger. So Matthews, I'm not going to say he turned a corner or he grew up or any of that crap. But for anybody who would say Matthews doesn't really shine in the playoffs, he made some good plays tonight. He got the goal, he saved the goal, and it gave his team a victory. And so we'll see how that all goes from there. All right. Tomorrow's the Panthers. This is every day. I love this. I love it and I don't love it. I love it because it's hockey just every day, every night, right? But I need a nap. I need a nap. That's what, you know what I mean? We're running on fumes, but that's okay. So tomorrow night will be the Panthers, and then we'll be right back here for Boston and Toronto. I guess that's Wednesday because tomorrow's Tuesday, right? I lose track of days. When it's every day with the football, I lose track of days because I'm self-employed. So there's no Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for me. It's just what game is it today? That's how my week goes. And yeah, we will be live. Kyle and I will be live tomorrow at noon. Talk about the Panthers, any other series that you guys want to talk about. We're finishing up the Islanders and Canes right now. With the Islanders with a 3-1 lead, although I heard Kyle screaming, so that maybe the Canes might have gotten a goal. So we'll see about that. All right, everybody, appreciate the support. Hit that subscribe button. Help me get to 8,000. I'll see you all again tomorrow.